So there's nothing quite like a beautiful space where you can chill, be on your own or with others around you. Soft furnishings, a bit of colour, some beautiful plants around us which soften areas and just make it so inviting. Artificial turf that the kids can play on, the dogs will love having a roll on, and it's really comfy underfoot. Water feature in the background, a bit of gravel, pavers, trellis for some privacy. But folks, this space looked nothing like this a day and a half ago. So the first thing we did in inspecting the area was that it really needed some privacy. The privacy we were going to gain by adding treated trellis. A couple of uprights which we used, which were the CCA treated poles, which we concreted in. Of course then we simply just extended the trellis along, really nice and simple. All the brackets are available at Builders, couple of screws and away you go. It is important when you are putting in your dropper, which is going to be holding your trellis, that there is always a bit of an overhang, because remember, we've still got to attach another piece of trellis to this. Don't make the mistake of putting it there, because then you're going to be in trouble. The existing pavers in the area with the mondo grass in between it really don't suit the style as well as the space. Remember, small pavers put together like this actually make an area look smaller. So you rather want to go with a bigger paver and work on consistency of the material that you're using, which is why less is always more. Next up, we're going to be removing the existing paving that's here with the mondo, level it out, and remember, it's all in the groundwork. If you get this right, the rest of it is really simple. Now, before we get to the next step, which is going to be putting down the weed guard fabric, what I really want you to do is to level this base out as well as possible. By doing this, I use a straight edge with the spirit level on top, move it along, stop every now and again, and check your level. First off went down the layer of weed guard. When putting down the weed guard, folks, it's really important that, do you see that little bit there? The overlap. Very often, I see that there's only a very small overlap, and that really does cause a lot of irritation and frustration when you're trying to put down your layer of river sand. So rather over-accentuate it so that you don't end up with bits of the weed guard folding back and getting mixed up with your base material, which is going to be the river sand. Once we've got that down, then the layer of river sand. And folks, this is where your saving grace comes in, because if you need to manipulate it, lift a paver here or there, nice and easy to do. Then in came the pavers, and we worked them in no particular series or structure, except that there is 20 centimeters between each paver. But your first paver is always very important. When we get to put them down, the first thing I want to do is make sure that they're coming straight off the beautiful double doors. Of course, we did go for a larger paver, because larger pavers make small areas seem bigger. When it comes to planting, when you've got weed guard down, it's really easy, folks. All I want you to do is you cut an X into the weed guard, flap it back, remove the soil, and remember, whenever planting, try and use some bone meal, some bio-ocean, and in goes your plant. Because we cut the little cross on the weed guard, you flap it back, and hey presto, once we put the gravel around, this is going to look like it's been living here forever. The plants that we went with are very simple and very minimalistic. We've used Buxus balls, which you are going to clip, keep nice and tight and tidy. To break it up, a few plectranthus, which has got a bit of variegation in it. Whilst I was busy putting the plants in, I set Kev to work to put up the water feature. Now, this is only one of the many water features available at your local builders. We went with a small water feature with a very narrow base, very little water in it, because in this home are two little kiddies, and we don't want them taking a swim. Then the gravel went in. We used one of the most inexpensive gravels. It's a doozy gravel, goes a long way, and we just simply level that out, which finishes it all. A few days later, we mounted the little wall pot holders with a bit of backing for them to attach to. They are so simple, and the little terracotta pots fit perfectly in there. We've got an existing vintage wire garden set, which is truly a classic, and we're going to be giving it a bit of a makeover. Some lovely Rust-Oleum, which has a built-in primer. All we need to do is use a steel brush to make sure we've got any dirt and bits of grime off it, and then spray paint away. Remember, if you don't have something like this to revamp, check out at your local builders. They've got loads of options for patio sets. When it came to the patio, we had existing this beautiful slate tile. Of course, we didn't want to mess with that. It's a classic, but we needed something underfoot. So we used some artificial grass, the really fluffy one, for a bit of texture, easy to clean, folks. Simply just a hose pipe on it will do the job. The artificial turf also creates a space for the children to play. They're gonna love rolling around on this. And of course, the beautiful patio plants. On the little pot holders, lifts them off the ground, so it brings them to that eye level, makes cleaning a whole lot easier when we've got to clean the patio. All the plants that we chose have got white flowers, the lovely peace lily, the blechnum, the monstera. All of them will enjoy staying in this position because they simply just get a lot of filtered light. And then a few fairy lights to make them pop. From drab to fab, folks, we have taken a really boring space, extended it, doubled its size, and created an inviting space for children, adults, for growing your own indoor plants, and most importantly, a place to relax and unwind. Remember, everything we've used is available at your local builders, either in-store or online. Get inspired by visiting their blog and checking out more inspiring videos like this, and take your space and turn it into this space. Get to Builders and get it done.